Idara became very worried. At about 12 noon, two men just ran into the compound and informed them that her husband and his family were involved in an accident on their way. And unfortunately, 3 people died, including her husband. There was commotion everywhere. Idara felt this was a bad dream she would wake up from. The guests started murmuring that it is obvious Idara was jinxed, and they started running away for their safety. After that day, most of the parents warned their children against having anything to do with Idara, that all was not well with her, as it is obvious she was cursed. Idara cried all day. She kept asking her parents questions, and none of them could answer. Nobody in the village came to check on her. No one wanted to associate with her. Idara felt the embarrassment and shame was too much, and she couldn't bear it any longer. Idara made up her mind to commit suicide. But she said to herself that it won't be nice to do it in her village, as it will make her parents so sad. So she decided to run away and kill herself where no one will find her. One night, she packed a few of her things and ran away into the night. She walked all through the lonely forest alone, crying. She walked for like an hour before she saw a big tree. She decided to kill herself there. As she moved towards the tree, she felt a sharp pain on her leg. She looked down and it was a snake. It was then she realized she had just been bitten by a snake. From nowhere, a young man ran out, killed the snake, and even assisted her to his village that night. The young man knew about local herbs, and he treated Idara with them to stop the snake venom from circulating all over her body. Idara slept, and when she woke up the next day, she asked where she was. The kind young man introduced himself. "My name is Essien," he said. "I was the one who rescued you when you were bitten by the snake." Idara started crying. "Please, you should have allowed me to die. The humiliation I'm going through is just too much," Idara said. Essien replied, "God forbid, you will not die." She asked Idara about her story. Idara took her time to explain tearfully all the ordeal she had been through and how she was on a quest to kill herself. Essien felt pity for her. Essien told her that there was more to life and that every circumstance was a phase, and with time it will pass. Idara said that she believes she is cursed, or maybe she wasn't destined to get married. Essien was a hunter with spiritual powers. Powers he got from his father, who was the chief priest of the land. Idara started living with Essien. Essien would go hunting and bring back his catch. Idara will use the meat to prepare delicious meals for Essien. They will eat together. Soon they became fond of each other. Essien made Idara forget her problems. He was always there to help her. People in the village admired their closeness. One night, Essien called Idara and told her how he felt about her and that he was willing to get married to her. Idara said, "Oh please, I don't want to lose you. Any man that decides to marry me or comes close to me either dies or leaves me. Please, I value our friendship." Essien asked her, "Is it that you don't love me enough to want to marry me?" Idara said to him that, "Essien, you're a good man, and I wouldn't mind marrying you, but I'm scared." Essien hugged her and told her that there was nothing to be scared of. From the day Essien professed his love for Idara, everything changed. At times, he would hear strange sounds in the house. One day, as he was sleeping, he heard the voice of a woman and a baby crying. When he woke up, he went around the house and found no one. Essien was surprised. What could be happening, he thought. They were returning from the market one day and he noticed that a strange bird was following them everywhere they went. Ese then decided to take Idara to his father, Pa Okon, who was the spiritual head of the village for spiritual assistance. Ese introduced her to his father. Immediately Pa Okon saw her, he knew all was not well. "Evil follows you all around," he told her. Idara was surprised. He continued, "There's a dark cloud over your head. Something is wrong somewhere. Give me some time to consult with the oracles." Pa Okon consulted with his deities for like an hour and came out later. He exclaimed. Pa Okon shook his head and said, "You suffer for what you do not know." Idara was curious and asked, "What exactly?" Pa Okon continued, "The issue affecting you is from your great-grandfather, and it happened over 100 years ago. Your great-grandfather was a very rich and successful man." Idara listened attentively. He was the most successful fisherman in the village, and he got married to a woman called Uyai. His relations never liked Uyai because she was from a poor background, and they thought she was a gold digger. Several times they would gossip and plan on how to drive her away, but her husband liked her so much and stood by her side. One day, when your great-grandfather was fishing, his canoe capsized and he died. The whole village mourned his demise, and that was the beginning of Uyai's problems. His family members made life hell for her, even when she had a daughter who was just 6 months old then. They collected everything belonging to her husband and chased her out of the house. Uyai cried 7 nights because of the cruel treatment. The family even went as far as accusing her for the death of their brother, and they made sure that she drank from the water used in bathing the corpse of her husband to prove her innocence, even when they knew the cause of his death. Uyai, who once lived in affluence, started living like a pauper. She started going about begging to eat with her daughter. She now looked dirty and unkempt, and even slept in the market stalls at night. Her husband's family cared less. Idara was already teary, listening to all what Uyai went through. As the days went by, Uyai and her daughter became very sick. No one to attend to them or treat them. When the villagers heard about her sickness and decided to help, it was already too late. On her dying bed, she placed the curse on the family of her husband for treating her that way. She said, "For treating me this way, all daughters born into this family henceforth shall know no happiness. They will only try, but they will never be successful. They will never get married or find true love. May happiness never find them. May their days be filled with sorrow." After saying these words, she died. A few hours later, her daughter also died. The villagers buried them amidst so much tears. Ever since that day, no woman born into that family has ever been married or found true love. Idara reflected on the words and discovered that it was true, as her family was filled with unmarried women. Idara broke down and cried. Essien consoled her. They now asked Pa Okon for the solution. He said the solution to the problem was very simple. He said Uyai, in her lifetime, was a lover of good clothes, that Idara should buy expensive clothes and toys for the baby, and at midnight they will go drop it at her graveside. She should beg for forgiveness on behalf of her family, and if her family was forgiven, she will see the sign. Idara did as she was told. The ghost of Uyai and her daughter appeared, smiling, which was a sign that she was no longer vexed. 2 months after, Idara got married to Essien. It was indeed a dream come true. She got pregnant and was delivered of a baby girl. She named her Uyai, after her great-grandfather's wife. Idara and Essien took very good care of Uyai. One day, when she grows up, we will tell her the mystery behind her name. Idara and Essien laughed happily.